Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing this January the 30th, 2025. Daily cryptocurrency, XRP, and blockchain technology video that you guys have come to expect, love, need, and deserve from the #1 cryptocurrency insider on social media and the sphere, J. And I ask you to bell notification, comment down below, like the channel, and share to get that truth, education, and information you need from a influencer, not an influencer, but an insider that has always been, will continue to be, and will continue to be free to you, my beautiful audience. And if you want to support the channel, you can right there hit the Vincenzo's, yeah, it's Jabroni Killers. It says $2.99 a month, but I believe it's $3.99 a month. The best, cheapest value for the education and information you can get on YouTube to help support a channel and keep this thing rolling. And I dare and implore you and beg you to show me a better value than $3.99 a month to support a channel. And you can also trade on the sites that I use right there below. Robinhood is one of them, and then Coinbase is down there in the pinned comments or the video description. And just like we talked about earlier when I told you about this explosive altcoin video, one of the perks you get as yes, members of Jabroni Killers, you get me to respond to you quickly and efficiently and swiftly, top priority. And I will look at and talk about whatever you guys want me to on here. And I will interact. I will comment to you. I will talk to you via the chat. And I will talk to you via the videos like XRP Ripper Z. Should I buy, hold, or sell my DGB? And I asked you in the video that I just released right now, this video is going to be coming out at 7 p.m. Central Standard Daylight Time, Jay. You need to tell me and comment and talk with me. I don't know if you should sell it or not. You said you're in at 0.011. You have to tell me what your thoughts are and what your vision is for this coin. Are you just looking to make a quick coinage, or do you think there's a bigger future for DGB and there's a potential mass adoption or institutional value or intrinsic value with this coin that you think there is and see that there is, and that's what you're holding for? These are things you have to talk to me about. What was your initial plan and why did you buy the coin, right? XUS001 asked me last night to talk about Quant, and we'll talk about the old Quant, the motherfucking Quant, Vincenzo. And you can see I responded to him quickly last night, and I told him I'd put it in the update last night, which I did, and we'll do it again. Peter, I think Iota, ahead of what's coming to the market, it very well may be, and we'll look at that coin. And then my good man, the Gate Man 999, asked about Quorum, and I did respond to him very quickly last night. But I told him I'll put it up in tomorrow's update, which is today now because bedtime. I had a 5 a.m. wake up for work, which is every day I get up at 5 a.m. to go to work. So it was a little bit too late for me to make a third video last night. But these are some of the things that you get if you're members of yes, Jabroni Killers to support the channel. And we'll go into my altcoins. Oh, we have Quorum in here. I don't know anything about Quorum. Oh, we have Iota in here too, I think. Or is Iota no, Iota should be in this one. Where's Iota at? We got Iota, and we'll run down the list there, and then Quant's right above it, because these are all the coins that you guys have asked. Iota had a nice little rally off the 100-day moving average and blue right there in the daily time frame. Or not the daily time frame. Yeah, the daily time frame. We're in the hour time frame right now. And now we're getting squeezed up against the 50-day moving average in the daily time frame, and that's where these markers are. If we went to the daily time frame, you would see that. See that? There's your daily time frame. And Iota, the moving averages have started to trend south a little bit, which is very interesting. So what you want to see happen is in the daily time frame, you want to see to get above the 50-day moving average now in the daily time frame, right? And if you can get above that 50 in the daily, you can make a nice realistic run up there to that 37 cents, right? And that's what we're looking to pay attention to. On the flip side, if this is just a quick dinosaur falling off pattern, and you can see what I mean by the dinosaur, you got this is the dinosaur reversal pattern where you have the hump, and then it looks like you got your head right there, and it forms sort of a dinosaur or conveyor belt. And oftentimes with these dinosaurs or conveyor belt patterns, they're a short-term move to the upside, but just like a conveyor, then they fall back down. And if you fall back down, you might have a date with the 200-day moving average down there at about 24 cents. So IOTA, for my IOTA fans, you want to see in the short term to get short to medium term bullish again, get above the 50-day moving average in the daily time frame, which is 32 cents, and somehow one way or another get on top of that 37 cents in the top part of this red resistance trading box, and then you can try to breach the old regional high, which was back here. If we clone this to make this easier, which was back here at 62 cents, and maybe even make a run up there to $1.20, right? So that's what we're looking at in IOTA, the Velo. And then we'll go back and look at Quant real quick as and then continue to move down. Is we're in this rising wedge with descending lower support or uptrending lower support and uptrending upper resistance, and it forms like a duck's beak, right? It's very wide at the beginning of the pattern right here. See that? Very wide, and then it forms and gets tight like a duck's beak, and that's a rising wedge. And usually they break down about 6.5 to 7%, 7 out of 10 times they break down. Right now we're getting bounced off the, let's put the moving averages up here. We're getting bounced off the 200-day moving average in the daily time frame. And then if we clone that, we can see the 100-day moving average is sitting right there at about, it's a little bit hard to see, at about 22 and a third cent. And then we have the 50-day moving average in the daily time frame, which is actually trending down, sitting up there at about, no, come on now, sitting up there at about 0.025992. And we got broke back into this pattern after trying to break out of it for about 15 to 18 days. And then we had a 55% correction to the downside to the 200-day moving average. And now we're going to watch for, does this have a nice rally back up and meet this upper resistance again at about 3 cents and get rejected and then come all the way back down and retest the bottom part of the pattern, something that it's done multiple times during this pattern. You can see all the times that it's done it in the recent past. We did it right here back in March of 23. Then we hit support in September 23 and rallied on there for quite some time, or September of 23. And we rode support up all the way into the following March of 24, right? See that? Very long time. Then we bounced up and hit upper resistance in the pattern in May of 24. Then we came right back down to lower support, double bottom, mid ground, hit the lower support again before we made our most recent run to the top of the pattern. So we're trading within this pattern still in IOTA. And until we break out of that pattern, there's not really a whole lot to talk about in there besides following the support and following the resistance there into that local pattern that we've been in for quite some time. For over 2 years now, we've been in that pattern. And now with the quant that he asked me about, we can see we've been bearish in quant in the short and medium term ever since we topped out up here. We'll clone this to make this easier. Since we had our local top out at $174, we came right back into this red resistance box. And now in the moving averages, they're squeezing and running parallel. And when they squeeze and tighten like this and run parallel, there's going to be a huge breakout soon. And if it breaks out to the upside, your upside target is all the way up here at $274 up here at the purple bottom part of your next major resistance area. But if it breaks out, because the breakout doesn't mean it's going to break out to the top side. If it breaks out to the downside, you're coming down to 69 cents. And that's the bottom line because old Vincenzo said so, Jay. But right now we've had a nice pump off of the 200-day moving average in the daily time frame, and we're sitting right about the 50-day moving average in the daily time frame. And this is going to be an interesting day or two in quant. If we can hold support now along that 50 right there at 109.44, we can make a real realistic run to try to breach back and break above that $123 again. And that's something I'm going to be watching out for in IOTA. DIA has been falling, and DIA has two patterns that we're watching out for. And you can see we did get a bounce. This could either be a head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern right here, where if we pull out our industry exclusive perching tool, you can see we have a left shoulder, a head, an elongated right shoulder, a neckline, and the point of the breakout, if it broke down, would get you to 38 cents. But we also have this humongous pump with pumping volume. Then we had a down and sideways falling channel consolidation with falling volume that leveled off, which is actually a bullish consolidation where you have descending upper resistance. You can see you hit it there on October the 20th. Then you hit it there again in early December. Then you hit it there again in early January and then mid-January. And then you hit support here in November, late November, Christmas time. And look at right there. You've come all the way down from a double top on upper resistance in this falling channel to lower support. And if this was a very awkwardly long bull flag, your technical target would be all the way up there at $3.23 with an initial resistance up here at $1.35. So that's what we're watching out for. Which one of those two patterns are going to break out with the DIA, because it's one of the two. VTH, one of my Jabroni Killer members asked about this, and we were talking about it, and it's come down quite substantially ever since you had the pump. But one of the things we diagnosed was we only had two daily candles with big volume, and then the volume came straight down, turned into sell volume, and continues to fall lower and lower each day. And that's something that we're watching out for, because what could happen here is if the volume doesn't pick up, you could get another big dump down to the 100-day moving average that we've been targeting, kind of like a capitulation locally of sorts, because you would still be above what you were pre-pump, but it would scare a bunch of people off that bought the pump and weren't riding the pump, which is a trading mistake. And then they're up here, and then this capitulation would dump them all out, and then we could go back up for a return rally. So in the short term, if the buyers come back in and we get a spike, you could regionally spike all the way back up into this area and then see what happens. Or you're going to have a local capitulation where you're going to fall through these moving averages, and you might have a 36% capitulation to flush all of the weak hands out that bought the pump and that weren't buying the dumps and hodling and then just enjoying the pump. So that's what we're watching out for in VTH. And then Monero. Monero's been looking more bullish than some of these other coins in the short term. And if we go into the daily time frame, Monero's trying to continue the pump, and it has breached just now its old regional high, and it's been holding on this 50-day moving average. And what we were looking at yesterday was you had a more bullish look to it where you had the nice pump. You can see a flush. Then you had this rounding area right there that could have been a modified cup and handle that we were looking at in the daily time frame. And you would go up from the neckline right there to the bottom of the handle to the point of a breakout. And that got you up there just above the $272 upper resistance. And that's what we're trying to aim for in Monero right now. XCN has been having that phenomenal pump too. The volume has been steadily declining though, but XCN might be reloading now and trying to get up to that 0.063 near the all-time high. And that's something that we're going to pay attention to, as it's had some violent consolidations and pump backs, but we might have a short-term head and shoulders pattern here that we were looking at. See this right here? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Don't want to buy you still. Horizontal neckline. And if that was a short-term topping out pattern, you'd go from the top to the neckline to the point of the breakout, and that would get you down there to about the 0.011. Where's that other coin that I brought on here for my good man? Oh, he was asking about Quant. No, the Quorum. We gotta find Quorum. Where's Quorum at? I think it was Quorum. What did my good man want before I let you go and eat my dinner? Quorum, Quorum. Coreum, Corm, Coreum. I think it's Corm, Coreum. Let's go look at Corm. I don't know anything about this. Ooh, is Corm a new coin or something that's pumped recently? Let's take a look at that. Quorum looks like a fairly new coin and just came out November of 24. And Quorum did what these coins normally do when they come out. They have a big pump and then they get a lot of hype and promotion, and people buy they buy it very quickly because it's very cheap and it's new and there's some hype around it. And then they have a big pump. But then, just like a stock does when they IPO, then they quickly go to a consolidation phase and a sell off as the people that were in there investing in the stock or were part of the token launch, they start to cash out some of their chips and then it dumps. So, right now, that's probably what's going on in this. I don't know anything about this, but what I would look at here is to try to get some structured support. Where are my tools at? What happened here? Something happened. What happened to my tools? There we go. I did something. I don't know what I did. My tools are gone. I deleted something on accident. What happened to my toolbar? This isn't good. This is no good. No good, Vincenzo. We need my toolbar back. We're gonna have to figure out what happened to my tools because I'm essentially useless without my tools. I need my tools, like my drawing tool. What happened here? Well, we'll do some quorum after I get time to eat and figure out what happened to my tools. Peace and love to my beautiful audience.